topic was about investing in tech entrepreneurship in Mexico in particular and LATAM as a region. We're at the most exciting place we've been since I've been doing this. In 2012, 2013 was when I got started, and I saw the opportunity. I just really felt that it was just a matter of time, and looking at the demographics and the amount of engineers being graduated, just the cost of starting a business coming down, and knowing Mexican ingenuity, I felt it was going to happen at some point. And I would go up to Silicon Valley and I'd meet with people and I'd tell them about the exciting startups I'd see in Mexico, and I couldn't get people's attention that much. Increasingly we did, but when SoftBank decided to invest $5 billion in the region, it was a tipping point, and now everybody is calling me to say, we hear Mexico is really exciting, who do you know? So that's a great place to be. FinTech has been the leader so far, and that's been predominantly what people have looked to invest in, because obviously there's so many problems to solve with the amount of unbanked, difficulty with e-commerce, and so many needs in terms of financial services. But what I see are, there are, and as Bismarck said in our talk, there are a lot of challenges here, so that creates a lot of opportunities. But I think what's attracting US investors and global investors, China is also interested in the region, is that companies are being started for less of an investment. The talent is very loyal. So in Silicon Valley, there's a huge problem with people jumping around and not being able to retain talent, where here there is a greater sense of loyalty and commitment. And the innovation that's happening, I mean, we're seeing really interesting technology in artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, connected devices, so distributed education, distributed medical services. So I think that we're solving more interesting problems and real problems here in our region than they're seeing right now in the US. And that's generalizing, but I do think that we've got some phenomenal companies here. I should say also that part of our thesis is we'll invest in Mexican tech, but it has to have a global vision. So we wouldn't invest in a company that is only doing business in Mexico, so your question is perfect for me. A few things that I tell our startups. One is to be persistent and be resilient, because the investment community in Mexico still is not quite understanding how tech investing differs from traditional private equity or real estate. So it's much more higher risk, but higher potential returns, and there will be terms offered that would cause a company to fail or not attract additional investment. So to be very cautious about your early investors and to invest on terms that are similar to what Silicon Valley investors would expect to see in the early stages. That's one. The other is to really be hone down how you tell your story. There is so many resources online. Y Combinator has a big library, but to make sure that you understand what a Silicon Valley investor expects. So generally it's a deck, a presentation of 10 pages, no business plans, no financials. It's like they just want to know what the story is, what the market opportunity is, and why you're the person to be able to create this technology. So start simple, and then it can build from there. And relationships, to spend time on making relationships with people who can introduce you. I think we're at a very exciting time. I see in Mexico that traditional businesses are struggling in the current environment. There is a sense of reserve and a pulling back, yet I see the tech industry just really exploding here still. And I also see a lot of Latin American companies from even Brazil, but primarily Chile and Argentina and Colombia, that are moving into Mexico because of the market potential. So you have two opportunities here. One is the ability to develop technologies, and the other is the market for the market size of Mexico. So I just think the future is very bright for Mexico, and I think in the short term we need to do a better job of educating more local investors on how to invest in tech and what is common, and then continue to work with our entrepreneurs to give them all the support they need to create successes.